Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's Universe podcast. This is your space for healing, truth, and transformation. Yes, I'm your interesting host. And it's only Monday recording. Oh boy, oh boy. So today's episode is called Becoming the Person You Needed, Healing Through Self-Compassion. Whoa. Let's get started. So, this one for anyone who's ever looked back and thought, I wish someone had been there for me. Maybe you needed protection. Maybe you needed encouragement. Maybe you just needed to be seen. The truth is, even if no one showed up back then, you can still show up now. Not just for others, but yourself. So, let's talk about it. How we can do that. So let's talk about the wounds we carry quietly. Many of us silent wounds from childhood relationship or moment where we were deeply disappointed or abandoned. We may not even talk about them, but they shaped us in powerful ways. Sometimes the wound is neglect. Sometimes it's being told we were too much or not enough. Sometimes it's not being protected when we really needed someone to fight for us. We grow up, we function, but deep down we carrying this ache. Where were they when I needed them? And that question left unanswered can an echo for it can be an echo for years actually when we feel alone, feeling that we don't fit anywhere, feeling we don't have the support, and we have to learn to do it without having an entire village. Some people journeys are the village is there for them, in others it's more challenging because our soul purpose, our soul decided we need to go through that ringers in order for us to really move forward and grow. But again, it's very difficult for some people because when you have a sense of abandonment, when you have a sense of not being fulfilled with the support you need or the love, or it's not the recognition of, oh, we want, a parade in the street, but somebody give us the word of encouragement. This can shape us to be tougher, can shape us to maybe not being the victim but being pushed into growing faster than we wanted to. That is life. This is our journey, and again, it's everybody else's journey is different, so we cannot go and compare each other's journey, knowing that our purpose where we grow up, not with the same parents, not with the same bank account, not with the same life, so we should not compare each other's. But that journey, those wounds that's still there, needs to be healed. Yes, we need to heal those wounds. Maybe at the age we were, we did what we had with what we've got and where we were at that time. But along the line, those wounds gonna need to be cleared. Those wounds, that past, gonna need to rest for good. So, reparenting ourselves and breaking the cycle. That's what we're talking about. It's breaking what we call a generational curse. That's what they call it. That's what we're calling it for today. So, here's what's the shift begin, and here's where we can rewrite the past, but we can't rewrite the past. Sorry, we can. Well, we can actually, but we cannot rewrite what has been done. But what we can do is change the story we carry into the future. So we can modify that past. We cannot change what happened to us, but we can change the narrative. Reparenting ourselves means becoming the nurturer, the protector, the guide you never had. It's holding space for our inner child and saying, I see you, I've got you, you're safe now. This doesn't mean blaming others forever. It means choosing to end the cycle. And I think a lot of people have a hard time to do that because when you get that cycle and live for so long, it's like a ghost. You're living with a ghost. And people leave that space and let it grow with pain, with sorrow, with resentment. And it become part of us. I've seen it closely actually when people don't want to let it go of that, because if you let go of that feeling, of that space you created, that reminder, that open wound, one of the question is for people who do not want to let it go is, what am I becoming now? What's next? So to stop looking outside for the love, the validation, or safety that has been missing and start building within ourselves. I think this is one of the hardest part for most people. It's really being focused on, okay, this happened. I'm becoming the observer of what happened in the past and realizing it wasn't our fault. That's one of the big things that people need to understand. It is not your fault. But we had to learn something, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now we need to go through the healing process, letting it go, taking back our powers, letting know to that inner child, that it is safe, you are safe, reconnecting with our inner child, which I think is the hardest part for some people to do. It's reconnecting all of the pieces of who we are. That's what it is. So when you're looking at the life we're all living in, and you're looking at the wounds or what needs to be done for one of us, we have to do the work. The hardest part for people is to do the work inside our own work, our own journey of healing. Again, it doesn't come from the outside world, it comes within ourselves. That is the hardest part, putting our thoughts and being able to lift up the lids and really look inside and see what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, so we can regain our power, we can regain our footage. Then we can at least change the narrative of that story, let it go, because we're not carrying, and that's one thing that I've learned a long time ago, I am not carrying the weight of the world on my shoulder. I'm not. Some people do. I don't. I refuse to carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. When you're not releasing and letting go and healing, you become the carrier of the weight of the world. You become the martyr, the victim. And that is a role, if you want to play it, that's great. Please go ahead and continue to do that. However, if you really want to change the situation where you were in, to have a better future, to break those patterns, then you need to let go of everything that happens in the past, so you can rewrite your future by working in the present time on healing. I have seen a lot of people, and I've seen one in particular that was like over a year ago actually, that refused to heal himself. He knew he had problem, but he refused to do that. So he would pick on people that he thought he could help or save. Well, he was not healed. That is not a good combo. And he assumed some people needed to be saved, which they don't. Like I said to people, I'm saying it to you again. I don't need to be saved. I'm fine. I saved myself. I've done that. Check the other episode previously. That will tell you something. Especially Dark Night of the Soul. That was awesome. Good lordy. This one was epic. It was the epic year on this one. It was like better than a movie. But think about when people do this and they go from one person to the other in a quest of I'm here to save you and help you and I'm going to control your life, when in fact they need to be healed, because there is no healing at that point. It's just damaging another person along the way and try to control somebody else's. But you have to work within yourself. You have to do the work. So that is something most people are not ready. I'm going to say ready. When they decline it, they're not ready. Maybe they're not ready in this lifetime. So they're going to have to come back and do it again until they got it done. So you have to look at everything and you rebuild it within yourself. And it takes time, you know. Sometimes I feel like I used to in the past. Okay, I want to be done in 15 minutes. It's like, nope. You're going to have to go through the emotions. You're going to have to go through one by one what needs to be released. You need to remove the anger. Maybe as a child, you had some hidden angers because you didn't have the support you needed as a child. Maybe as a teenager, as a growing children, you have been exposed to toxicity. And even though you end up to get away from it, there is something that needs to be healed. So those are the time where you need to really be honest. And I think the honesty and the authenticity, being honest, not lying to ourselves. My goodness gracious. I have done that crap so many times. I'm like, stop lying to yourself. Look at the shit and look at what needs to be done. Okay? Stop putting roses and bonbons around and ignoring it. I've done the ignorance too. I tried to ignore things and I'm like, holy crap. So after ignoring and playing the ostrich, which didn't work great actually, it did not work great because the crap was still there. The situation, what needed to be done was still there. You're not progressing. You're basically putting yourself in a position of basically stuck. You're stuck until you do the work, you do what you got to do. You are stuck where you are. So it is better, I would say, per experience, because I'm speaking from freaking experience on this one. I went and I did the removal of the generational curse, quote unquote, from my entire freaking lineage on both sides. Not only one, but two. And myself on the top of it. So removing it is being able to break free of everything that was not for the highest good. And that's what you got to do. So if you don't do, for me it's extreme because I went to the entire lineage, but do it for your own self, at least for yourself, for your inner child. Reconnect with your inner child. Tell him or her, we're safe. You are safe. You are good. I'm here to protect you. I know what happened to you. I am here to protect you. I see you. That makes a huge difference, actually. I got you. I see you. You're safe. I am safe. Yes. I know it's deep for a Monday. Holy crap. I need a cocktail, people. I'm telling you. Holy moly ratatouille. So, what self-compassion really looks like. Self-compassion isn't soft, it's fierce. It's saying no to things that depleted you or us. It's forgiving ourselves for the choices we've made in a survival mode. It's standing to our emotions with gentleness and no shame. Yes. So let's go with people or things that basically suck the life out of us. Let's talk about it because we have to take care of ourselves first. And it's not being selfish, and I'm going to continue to say that until my last breath. I'm doing, until I stop doing podcasts. We are the number one in our world. In our little universe of each other, we have our own universe. We're living in our own little universe. Every one of us have our own universe. We are the number one on top of the list. It is not your mate. It is not your children. It's not your pets. It's you. You are the number one. It's nothing selfish or self-centered or narcissist. Is how can I take care? Think about this. How can I take care of everybody that I would like to do, or take care of my job, take care of my life, having fun in my life, do something productive if I am the last one on the list? Well, not good, because you have no more energy. Be number one on your list so you can at least take care of what you want properly and not half-ass job and there. So you're not soft. You put your armor on. You're saying no to people and situation that are not for your highest good. You know that everywhere we go, there is always one person that will suck the life out of you, quote unquote, energy. You got what I call it, the vampires. I called them many years ago before it became popular. I call them vampires because every time you talk to them, they will cipher your energy. And then you're depleted and they're all happy skippy to go to the next victim. Seriously? No. What doesn't work for you, what is not for your highest good, then don't do it. Said no. You have to set your boundaries. One of the biggest things as well to do is forgiveness. And it's forgiving ourselves. Forgiving ourselves. Yes, I'm repeating this a third time. Forgiving ourselves. I have made decision on the flight or fight mode, aka survival mode. They were the stupidest, worst decision I ever made. Why? Because my brain went in a survival mode, like I was in a caveman world, chased by a dinosaur, which wasn't true. And after I made that bad decision, I realized that if I would have grounded myself, I would have not done that. Little story. I'm working with somebody indirectly, and they called me a couple days ago. And I have no idea, because everything was fine before that individual called me. We talked about it last week. Not a problem. We got something going on. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. We're going to go this way, this way. I'm like, sure, no problem. That person called me and said, well, that's been 2 weeks. And these. And insisting in a panic mode for me to change the course of what I said. So I said nothing at all, actually. I kept myself quiet while that person was talking. And by the time you're listening to this, I'm recording in July, and you're going to hear this, the end of July. So that's mean we're the second week right now, starting the second week of my career retrograde in July. And then you're going to hear it by September. I'm recording like a month ahead. Unless there is something that really needs to be said, I'm recording a month ahead, which is awesome for me. I love it. So we're Mercury retrograde. So at that point, I said nothing. I let the person talk. I'm like, let me sit on it. I hang up. I didn't like, actually, the tone of the voice of that person. And it was very interesting that that person was blaming me on things that she actually did not do properly. But said nothing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take 24 hours and decide what I'm going to do. Instead than panicking and do something, quote unquote, what I call stupid. Okay? Survival mode, you made the wrong decision. Sit on it. Word of advice for everybody who's listening to this. If one day, or if right now, as you're hearing it, something say, oh, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Do like I did. Sit on it. And ask God. It's very simple. And I asked the universe. I said, God, there is things here that's not right. I know that person is in a flight or fight mode. There is something wrong. Show me what it is. By morning, 4 a.m., I was on the front of my computer. You're going to know everything I do. Hoo-hoo. I was on the front of my computer, and I went and I was looking at something online. And I saw the posting, actually, that person did. I read it. I got horrified. I'm like, what the freak? No wonder for 2 weeks that project was quiet, because that person posted something so wrong online that nobody would have been interested of. So instead of being pissed off, what I did, I picked it up I picked up the verbiage that person had. I actually rewrite it. Yay, he was rewritten. I sent it back to her and I said I want this replaced. And I put it in here. I said, by the way, you put this statement in there. That is why nobody showed up and nobody had any interest because you put this in there. I said, not it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I discovered after she got it, she put my stuff online. She said, yes, I changed it. I'm perfect. And I said, I'm not changing anything else. Everything we talk about it's still the way it is. Then she sent me something else because I said something in there. And she sent me something else and I discovered she talked to somebody else who basically sabotaged it. So I brought her the proof of what I was saying. And I said, what I said on my stuff, it's live, everything in there. Since then, freaking crickets. But I know what I put in there is correct. Now, I did not fall for her survival flight mode and her pressuring me rudely to do something I didn't want it to do. That's why I learned to forgive myself because I have done it a few times. Not too many times, but a few times. I went in that flight or fight mode and I made the worst decision. Now, am I blaming people for it? No, I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm not going to blame anyone for my past actions for one reason. I'm the one who took the decision. This is where you put yourself accountable. Everything you do is to be accountable. I don't care if somebody gives you, and that happens to me, gave me the wrong information, the wrong advice. If you take action based on that, it's your taken, not somebody else's. It's your fault. I'm going to use the word fault because you took the decision, and I don't care if somebody gives you the wrong information. Like that person did not do half of what you were supposed to do, but wanted to push in the wrong direction, and I knew it was the wrong direction. I did not fall for it. Yeah, this time around, like the universe said, this time around you did not. No, I'm not. I'm not falling for that crap anymore. And I was ready to say the S word. We're going to keep it as crap. Forgive yourself for the choices you made in survival mode. And how many of us have done that at least once? Because you go in a panic mode and you take on that fear of somebody giving to you. You know, we got a general, and that's why I don't watch the news anymore. I've stopped to do this, and even I reduce my social media dooley bobber as well because of the collective hysteria and people creating those hysteria just to scare people. When you're in a calmer state of mind, when you're grounded, you make the best decision for you because you see the entire picture. People play on others' fears in order to sway them in a direction even if they don't want to go there. That's the reason that I've kind of step back from some of the stuff that I've done in the past on social media because I do not want to be sucked in something that I don't want to. We all have our own free wills. And one of the biggest things for people is the blaming game. Again, we are freaking accountable for what we do. Stop blaming everybody else's. We are the one who are making the step. It doesn't matter if somebody tries to influence you, scare you, whatever. It is your actions. So stop blaming people. Because the blaming game is the easiest things to do. I don't blame people because I realized afterward that was dumb of me to take that decision. That was my fault because I should have listened to my inner self, to my higher self, to my little voice telling me, don't do it. The mother says, stupid, do not do that. And I went for it and I'm like, oh, shock. I got slapped in the face afterwards because that went haywire. That was the wrong decision. But I listened to somebody else's instead than taking the time. That's why I'm insisting heavily on this one. Take the time to sit down, to stay where you are. And I don't give a crap if there is a deadline or not. Do not fall for it. I got my answer. What wasn't working the next day? When now the universe guide me in less than 24 hours. Yeah, well, it actually was, when that person talked to me was what time? Oh, let me check on my phone. I could say that. At what time that person texted me. Let me check this quick. Just, I'm curious now. I'm curious to know how long it took this time around. Because when I answer universe, within a few hours, I get. Oh, it took less than 24 hours actually. Yep, less than 24 hours. That happens, and I put my foot down. I don't care if you're panicking. You need to ground yourself. And when that person talked to me, it felt like a freaking tower moment. Literally, it was a tower moment. But did I fall for it? Freak no. I wanted to figure it out because I knew something was hidden. And I discovered two things. One, information we have wrongly put it out there, which was not helping the cause actually at all. It did not. That was the problem. And number two, having conversation behind my back instead of consulting me directly, which I could have give the answer without the problem and would not have that issue. That's two things. But you can course correct that. So it's like a setback for 2 weeks or a week. I would call it a week. It's a setback for a week. However, everything can turn around, and this is turning around. So I'm sharing that story for that reason. The blaming game, who gives a crap? It doesn't help. Again, you are the one who took the actions. I took the actions. And the one that I took on Wednesday was just fine. Because I stopped it. I didn't bought to that sense of emergency, it's the end of the world, because it is not. So, you have to we have to tend to our emotions with gentleness and not shame. That's what I did. I tended to my emotions, feeling that, okay, that person is panicking. What am I going to do about myself? I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to just analyze for a minute what was said. And I am going to change the direction by asking the universe, okay, what am I doing now? And you get the information. Ask and you shall receive. I don't ask people. I just ask the universe, and the universe will guide me where it needs to. Somebody else is to do something else. But you have to stop and start to bring all of this together. Those steps are essential. Because if you don't do this, then you're gonna basically burst the bubble, and yeah, you're gonna become the flat tire. So it's not just the bubble bath of affirmation, it's boundaries, it's rest. Okay, the bubble baths are great, the affirmation fantastic, but you have to put the boundaries. That's what I said, that's what I did. I went from listening to somebody who was trying to tell me something to, no, I'm in charge of that project, so no, we're gonna go this way and we're gonna do this. Did I take a rest? Yes, I did. It's honest conversation. It's creating a life where you feel safe to exist fully. Okay? Your honest conversation is within yourself. Because it's all about you here. It's not about anybody else's, it's about you. And it's creating the life where you feel safe to exist. In order to do that, you have to create your space. If you don't create your space around you, then you're at the mercy of everybody else's. Well, that's not fun. If you want to be in that boat, I wish you good luck and don't run out of fuel, because that will be a bumpy ride. But because once you learn to hold space for your own pain, you stop bleeding on people who did not cut you. I know, kind of tough. And it's only Monday, people. Holy crapola. Oh. But seriously, you need to learn to hold space for your pain and for you. Because trust me, people don't care. They don't care. At the end of the day, you're living with your own self. You're the one who are in your own shoes. Nobody else is in your own shoes. You have to take care of yourself. So create that space and start to heal. Create those boundaries. Start to clear up people around you, situations that are not for your highest good. Start to do something positive for your own self. Becoming the person you needed then, now. So, what does it mean to become the person you needed? Let's talk about this because it means speaking to ourselves with kindness when we are mess up. It's honoring our needs even when they are inconvenient. Yep. To people. Yep. Creating safety inside and out and being proud of our growth even when no one claps for us. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Been there, done that. People want your demise no matter what. You're going to always have the Debbie Downer on the block. The people who are jealous, who has everything they want. And they're going to be jealous because, oh my God, that person is thriving. That person is changing and I'm not, and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a crap about those people? This is their monkey, their circus. Don't ask, or it's not ask, but yeah, it is, for validation. This is a lot of bull crap. Seriously, I am so glad the way I grew up was the harshest way I could grow up. But at least nobody gave us any validation, which is great actually, because at least it's free you from that. You don't need to seek something from somebody. I don't need to be seen. I'm already here. I see myself. I see my soul. I'm good. I'm like, it is. But when you stop those validation and those I want, stop that. You're not helping your cause. You're not helping your spirit. You're not helping your soul. You're helping nothing except being a target of somebody else's. But speaking to ourselves with kindness is so essential. And I was harsh with myself for decades. This is how we grew up. This is really, really, really harsh. And now it's addressing myself with kindness because I don't need to be that harsh towards myself. Not at all. Even the way I grew up, no, I don't. And I honor my needs. What are my needs? And I don't care if it's inconvenient for the rest of the world. I am going to honor what I need to do today. And if it's not convenient for you, well, too bad. I'm not going to be delaying anything I want to do. And I have done that and I piss off people, but I don't care. If I have to do something for myself and it's inconvenient because you decided, well, too bad, Jack. You're going to do it on your own, or we're going to postpone it, or you put it earlier or later. But I'm going to honor myself, putting myself first. And I'm creating that space, that safe space inside of me and outside. My outer conditions are safe. That's what I worked on. For my safety, it's not only inside, but it's outside. Have the peace and the love. And being proud of our growth and how we grow. I don't need a band, red carpet, and somebody to announce how much growth I have done. I never had that. I don't care about it. So should you. Who cares if no one is there to clap for you? Clap for yourself. Honor yourself. Recognize the growth you have done. To me, it's more of a freaking big achievement than expecting people who do not want to succeed are going to be a little jealous or resentful because you have changed. That's not the kind of people I want around me, and I'm not interested about them. I'm doing my growth and my transformation, and I see the changes, and I'm very happy. If the rest of the world doesn't want to see it, it's not my monkey, it's not my circus. It's out of my purview. So now ask yourself, who did I need when I was hurt? Who really did you need it? What did I need someone to say or do for me? What did I need someone to say or do for me? And how can I become that person today? That's how you turn your pain into wisdom. That's how you become your own healer, and that's how the cycle ends with you. That's how you do it, by becoming freaking independent. You are not codependent, you're independent. You reclaim your freedom. That's what it is. You are standing up for your own self. That is the key. I hope this will inspire you, actually. Seriously. Because when you turn your pain into the wisdom, when you become your own healer, you stop that cycle for good. You're not going back. You're moving forward into a different direction that is more suitable for who you are. So, today, I want to remind you, you are not broken. No, you are becoming. I'm tired of people saying you're broken. No, I'm not. I'm becoming. I'm changing. I'm evolving. We are all changing and evolving every single day. You may not have had what you needed back then, but you can create it now. Every time you choose compassion over criticism, softness over shame, boundaries over burnout, you become the person that little version of you prayed for. So go gently today, speak kindly to yourself, and keep becoming. Because healing doesn't always look like a grand breakthrough. Sometimes it looks like finally being there for ourselves. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And this is the journey of coming home to you. That's what it is. The journey of coming home to you. So think about it. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emily's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emily's Universe Podcast.